Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here to review the 2003 science fiction action movie, The Matrix Reloaded, starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Hugo Weaving, Harold Perrineau, Randall Duke Kim, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Helmut Dikitis. Now, this is a good movie. I do enjoy watching this. I think the basic plot about this is Neo has now become the one that when Morpheus prophesied it in before the original movie from 1999, and then Neo has to try and stop Agent Smith because Neo killed him in the original movie from 1999, and then somehow Agent Smith has returned, and not only that, he's able to replicate himself, so he's becoming even more powerful than probably Neo is, so Neo has to try and stop him. That's basically the gist of the plot, but more so than that, he has to try and shut down the mainframe, the machine mainframe. So he goes to see the Oracle first, who is played by Gloria Foster this time, and played by Gloria Foster. Then a very good scene, I think, is when Neo goes to see this guy called the Architect, who's the creator of the Matrix. And then they also have to try and find this guy called the Keymaker and try to free him from this very powerful program called the Merovingian, and I think he's played by Lambert Wilson, and he has a girlfriend or wife of his played by Monica Bellucci, and they have to try and get the Keymaker because Neo and the rest of the freedom fighters need him, so they can because he has one specific key that they need to get into this one specific room in a building that is almost like the headquarters for the machines and the agents. So this is a good one. Not spectacular, but I do enjoy watching this one. This one probably has more action than in the first one. Neo fights more than one person this time. In the first big fight, he fights like 5 or 6 people at once, and that's when he is trying to escape from the Merovingian. And then there's this huge gunfight and car chase that involves a motorcycle, when that Trinity is driving this motorcycle, and and then there's this agent who's driving this huge truck, rig truck, and he made all these cars start flying and crashing on top of each other, crashing on the street. And before Trinity gets and then before that, before she gets on the bike, there's an incredible shoot, a gunfight when these two twins that work for the Merovingian are in one car and they're shooting at the car that Neo, not the Trinity, Morpheus, and the Keymaker are in, and then these twins have the ability to like disappear, and they can somehow go right through solid objects, solid walls, and they're really, really good in this. They're probably my favorite out of this entire movie itself. And then Neo saves Morpheus and the Keymaker from this truck that crashed into another truck that two agents drove, and then it explodes. They explode. But before Neo does that, Morpheus has an incredible hand-to-hand fight with one of the agents, and this agent is really quite good at fighting. He almost makes Morpheus fall off the truck 2 or 3 times. So I really do enjoy watching this. Another great fight is when Neo first sees Agent Smith alive for the first time, and then Neo has to try and fight off all his clones. There's an incredible fight, especially when Neo gets this bar after he ripped it out of the ground, and he spins around and kicking some of the agents. And then Neo had this reoccurring dream of Trinity falling down, and then she crashes onto this car. He didn't realize it, but that's something that was about to happen. So Trinity is fighting this one agent, and then another agent starts shooting at her, and then the one that she was fighting starts shooting at her, and then she goes out of the window, and then he follows, and then he shoots her. And this is after Neo sees the architect, and then he flies out of the room that flies through the store that I guess part of the one floor of that building is blowing up, so he flies through that floor of the building after it blew up, and then he has to fly to Trinity before she lands on this car. So Neo ends up getting her, and the agent that was following her smashes onto the car. So Neo saves her by putting his hand through her body and takes a bullet out. And then she dies for a little, and Neo puts his hand back in and kind of pumps her, grabs a hold of her heart, and then kind of squeezes it for a little, pumps it, and then that makes her become alive again. And the architect told them that, I think it was in 24 hours, they have to do something, or the humans will be dead for sure. And Neo has this ability now where there are these little machines that are flying after them, and he puts his hand up, and then he somehow electrocutes all of them. So he's getting more powerful each and every time something happens. So if you haven't already, I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe over here if you're watching the video by itself, or subscribe down here if you're watching the video on my channel. So I don't know if there's anything else I can say about this, so stay cool and roll out to the movies.